But typically we always are been asked this question that why should we not buy misspellings, and we try to tell them that it's all about relevancy and just buy one domain. It doesn't really matter. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's much easier to build up a brand if you've got a big domain, not 500 or even 20 smaller domains, because people will hear about that hotel. They'll say, oh, I know about that spot, I'm going to go back to it. And in theory you can buy misspellings, but don't develop them separately. Just route them all to the one main website, because you don't want to have a separate one where a competitor or someone is looking at, oh, I have 50 different websites, and then they do a spam report saying, oh, look at this guy's trying to dominate the top 10. It's much better to do really well and build up that brand and build up a lot of content in one space than one domain, than to try to show up for every single one of the top 10, because Google will take steps to try to counteract that.
So one thing we've been experiencing, so when I was taught SEO, I was taught that use your title tags, not too much stuff there. Make sure they're grammatically right. You are using something like looking for San Jose hotels. You're writing your title tag for your user or for surfers. But recently, I've been seeing that a lot of title tags which are stuffed with keyword phrases are ranking high. And especially for very competitive keyword phrases. So what are your thoughts? Go by stuffing?
No, I would stick with what's good for users, because oftentimes these are good hotels, real hotels, that decide to over-optimize, and so it's not that the title is really helping them, it's that they would have already been doing well, and then they decide to go crazy with the titles. And realistically, Google gives some weight to the title, but I mean, if you put 400 words in the title, we're not going to listen to all 400 words. So it's better to think about something that's going to be a good hook, a real compelling thing that will make a user click, and that's the best thing.
Yes. So in lodging industry and hotels, we still have these yellow pages, or you walk by Denny's and you have this coupon guide, and now Google has Google Coupon, and I use it all the time. Now, do you think Google Coupon or Yahoo or these different coupons will actually eventually will probably replace all these print?
Well, there's a place for everything. Like, there's nothing like driving down the interstate, you stop at a restaurant, and then you're right there, right? And you're not on the web then, you're at that Denny's. And so there will always be a place for, hey, here I am at this point of sale, right by the cash register, oh, a hotel coupon code, right? However, I would say most hotels and lodging in general are not paying attention to all of their opportunities. So we mentioned blogs, we mentioned video. Local is another huge one.
Yes,
and
it's a huge one.
You can totally represent
I'm
yourself
still fighting
well.
a battle of if the hotel website should be listed,
right,
or if the franchise website should be listed,
yes,
or both should be listed.
It's tough, yeah, and yet for a user who's on their iPhone or on their laptop, if they're searching and they see a map and they can tell, oh, it's only a mile or two away from me, they're much more likely to go there. So people should be paying attention to local. I think Google coupons, all of these things will help and will grow, but I think we'll continue to see, at the local restaurant, you'll still see those paper ones as well.
So I guess last two questions. We've been doing a lot of efforts towards mobile, and I think last 1 year I've been struggling. Okay, what is going to be the future when you design a website for mobile? Should you be designing it for Safari, or should you be designing it for older browsers? Because the way our hotel industry websites are designed, they're content-rich websites. So I can't really take same website and design it. But if you do it for Safari, iPhone is completely different site than older browser.
Totally.
So what are your take on that?
That's a great question. So the short answer is, think about where your market is. If your market is in the United States, for example,
yes,
it's definitely the case over the next couple of years, the browsers on the web phones are going to get better. You're going to have more smartphones, you're going to have more iPhones. Google Android might work out well, hopefully it does. Windows Mobile is going to be better and better. And so the browsers are going to be able to handle a richer website, or at least not a website that's hard-coded in WML or WAP or whatever. So I think the trend, at least in the United States, is going to be concentrate on a good, usable website that will also look good in mobile. And not to make so much of a specialized one just for these sort of, not the smartphones, but the dumb phones, the ones that will eventually probably disappear over the next few years. Now, if your hotel is in Kenya, or if you're running a hotel in somewhere, India or wherever, that won't have those smartphones for quite a while longer, then you might think about having a specialized website.
Okay. So I guess in nutshell, that
The trend is going to be those phones get smarter and smarter.
Okay.
And they'll have a little mini web browser built in. So hopefully if you're just lazy and it works well on Safari, everything will just work out and the phones will come to you.
So it's better to design for lowest common denominator, probably,
yeah,
for now.
if you can. I mean, a site that has just static pictures as opposed to Flash, for example, that's going to work well on any browser. And an iPhone doesn't support Flash right now. So those sort of things, it's a little better if you can have a site that's maybe a little lower tech in that sense.
Okay, so I think this is my last question.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So for a successful website, what are the most important steps? And the way we go about it is research, content, design, promotion, submission. That is the fundamental thing is research, and fundamental thing is what content you have. And we always tend to put, because it's organic, we always tend to put things which are most relevant, because you can't really evaluate ROI. You have to just put all the ingredients and hope, pray to Google or search engines that they will really like what we have written.
Yeah.
But
No, I totally agree. I mean, it sort of brings us back around to the very first question you asked about, what are some secrets? And research is huge, and content is huge. And if you do good research, you save yourself a lot of work on making the content, because you find out the sort of things that, a very simple example, you could buy ads to start out with and find out the phrases that convert well, the phrases that people really type. And so that's a very cheap way to do some keyword research. And then once you know, oh, these are good phrases, you can go and write some content about that. And then once you've got good content that's really useful, promote it, let more people know about it, market it, all that sort of stuff.
Right. So I guess I just want to show you the site, and we probably won some of the best award on this site in lodging industry, and I was quite shocked when we won it because our sites are so content rich. So we wanted to kind of get your input on what do you think, and what we did here is we kept the image. We kept all that really nice usability and everything, but if you look at it, every single thing we put in here in a form of links, and so we have vacations, events, every packages, and I always kind of ask our customers, hey, please make sure you have every single thing one click away.
And you're really stepping into the user's mindset. You're saying, what does the user want to do? They want to go for a wedding or a romantic? What are the top things what are the things nearby? And then up here you have the reservations. So if somebody wants to stay, they don't have to go and find the link right there, right on the very first page. They can start to book a room.
So you think the content looks good?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to do it.
Okay. I think we always get this thing from customers that if you're going to put so much content, you're going to have conversion. And because, again, lodging industry is so picture driven, and we always say that content is what is driving search engines.
Yeah. Well, and speaking for myself personally, every time I go to a hotel site, the more they tell me, the more comfortable I am. Because if it's just a picture, you have no idea what it's really like. And so the more you get a feel of the voice, because the more content they have, the more you know, okay, I feel comfortable.
All right. Thank you so much, Matt. I really, really appreciated it. And I actually forgot to give introduction. Matt doesn't need introduction, but he's also called Google Guy.
Some people call me that. Yeah.
Most of the people call you that. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it.
Definitely. Good talking to you.
Thanks a lot.